I just don't think there's any hope for a certain Scream 7 theory. Let's talk a little bit about it.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
I want to be a fighter, like you.
Oh, let it burn! Let it burn!
Did you miss me?
You have to shoot them in the head. They always come back.
The boat can leave now. Tell the crew.
Well, sometimes that is better.
Good luck.
Hey everybody, I'm Killjoy Jake, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. If you love horror flicks as much as I do, then make sure to like this video and subscribe for more updates just like this one. Also, the best way to support the channel is by becoming a Patreon member, where you'll get exclusive perks like trailer reactions and bonus review videos. I just put out a brand new video for YouTube channel members and Patreon supporters alike, a review of Kevin Williamson's The Vampire Diaries starting off with season 1. I'm hoping to do more reviews on this entire show in the future. Thank you to everyone who keeps me in business. Now let's get into this video. We just got a ton of different release dates for upcoming horror flicks in 2027, so let's just talk about basically the entire horror slate for both Warner Brothers and Blumhouse in the next couple of years. Amidst the ongoing Netflix and Paramount bid, Warner Bros. Is setting the release date for another Conjuring flick next year, called The Conjuring First Communion on September 10th. It's likely that we'll be following the younger versions of Ed and Lorraine Warren, as we briefly saw at the beginning of the previous film, The Conjuring Last Rites. No word yet on if Patrick Wilson or Vera Farmiga will return. It's certainly going to be tough for the brothers to top their 2025 releases, but this year is definitely stuffed with some spooky goodies too. A few 2026 releases I'm really looking forward to are The Bride from Maggie Gyllenhaal, a modern retelling of The Bride of Frankenstein, which releases on March 6th. They Will Kill You, the Ready or Not competitor, goes up later that month on March 27th. And Evil Dead Burn, the 6th entry in the legendary Sam Raimi franchise, will light up this summer on July 24th. One other franchise continuation I have to note coming from the company later on in 2027 is Gremlins 3, a movie that I think is just so long overdue. I cannot wait for this one, coming out 2 months after First Communion on November 19th. I'm predicting Gremlins 3 is going to be a very big hit in late 2027, so look forward for my coverage on that flick soon. Now, this might be a hot take, but I think that Blumhouse is going to go on an even crazier run in these next 2 years, something the company desperately needs. In 2026, they have Lee Cronin's Disturbing the Mummy dropping on April 17th, Curry Barker's Obsession, which looks so good, on May 15th, Insidious: The Bleeding World on August 21st, and Rob Savage's Other Mommy on October 9th. Now, while I'm confidently predicting that all 4 of those movies will be big hits for the studio, it gets even nuttier with some of the more recently released release dates. That was a tough thing to say for 2027. In the first half of next year, Blumhouse will release Mike Flanagan's highly anticipated Exorcist flick, which is said to be the scariest film he's ever made, and also has a pretty damn decent cast. That comes out on March 12th, and then Paranormal Activity 8 from Undertone director Ian Tuason on May 21st. Now, although the studio has had a rough couple of years, with many movies being reviewed poorly, and also a few surprising box office bombs like Megan 2.0. With all that being said though, this right here is the comeback arc. I think this year and next year definitely are going to be big hits for Blumhouse. We're turning the narrative around. All 6 of those movies I just talked about have some sort of like really exciting element about them. Take Curry Barker's Obsession, for instance. This is coming from an up-and-comer who has so many good credits to his name already. Milk and Cereal, a movie that he produced for little to no money and just uploaded to YouTube, has been highly acclaimed across the board. Honestly, it's one of the best found footage movies that has come out in the 2020s, and it's free on YouTube right now. I will pay top dollar to see whatever he's working on next in theaters, without a doubt in my mind. I'm predicting that The Mummy is going to be this sleeper hit despite a lot of its bad press. Other Mommy is coming from Rob Savage, who also directed the film Host from 2020, another great found footage flick from this decade. Both Insidious and Paranormal Activity are 2 franchises that are super lucrative and make a ton of money every time they hit the box office. In fact, every single Insidious movie has made more money than the previous one. I imagine Bleeding World may not do that necessarily. It would have to crack like basically 200 million to do that, but I think it's definitely breaking 100 million, which will make it profitable. predictable. Paranormal Activity, same thing, especially after the previous film in the franchise didn't even release in theaters. Next of Kin would have killed, dude. And do I even have to say anything about Mike Flanagan's The Exorcist? That's a match made in hell, and I love it. Another thing about 2027 is that we'll likely see the release of Five Nights at Freddy's 3, another super lucrative franchise for this company. Blumhouse gets a lot of hate, but I am confidently predicting that narrative is going to turn around in the next 2 years, baby. This is the comeback arc for Blumhouse, and I am here for it. I just talked about a lot of movies. Which one has you the most excited? Let me know down in the comments. The Mortuary Assistant is a relatively new horror game that scared the ever-loving shit out of me when I played it for basically the first time on Monday during a live stream. Here's a fun little clip from that. Do you guys see it? There was a dude, and he was right there. Holy shit, dude! The game has been turned into a movie, and we just got the first trailer this past weekend. The movie looks like a near-perfect recreation of the game's experience, while also expanding upon the in-universe lore, diving deeper into the entities that must be sent back to hell at Riverfield's Mortuary. The set is a one-to-one practical recreation of the video game setting, which is evident through what we see in the trailer. You might also spot a few of the tasks that Rebecca Owens must go through in the video game on her terrifying shift, and some of the demons that taunt her the entire time. The script comes from the game's creator, Brian Clark, as well as Tracy Beebe, and the film will be directed by Jeremiah Kipp, who also did Slapface for Shudder. You can see The Mortuary's Assistant in theaters on February 13th, or if you just want to watch it at home, it'll drop on Shudder over a month later on March 27th. So, like, just go see it in theaters. That's way better. You get to see it way earlier, and it probably won't be spoiled for you. I am so excited to be shitting my pants watching this one very soon here. Director Eli Roth has finally given us an update on the highly anticipated Thanksgiving sequel. Thanksgiving 2, which was supposed to release last turkey season, hasn't even rolled cameras yet, and director Eli Roth has finally explained what the holdup is to Variety. Roth said, "Everybody wants to do it, I'm gonna have it locked and loaded, and we'll find a time when we're all available. We'll just go back for a few weeks and have fun." Roth is likely held up with the numerous projects that he's attached to. Not only did he start a company recently focusing on releasing low-budget horror flicks to theaters nationwide called The Horror Section, but he'll actually be releasing his own film through the studio called Ice Cream Man. We don't know much about the mysterious flick, but it's not a remake of the Clint Howard flick, and it's said to be Eli's most brutal movie yet. I may know a thing or two about this flick that I'm not really able to talk about at this time, things that are off the record, but trust me when I say this is going to absolutely bang. You are not going to want to miss this one when it drops sometime this year. Also from The Horror Section is a movie that he's actually developing. This is not just a joke trailer like we thought it was when we saw Jimmy and Stiggs last year. A movie he's making with Snoop Dogg called Don't Go in That House, Bitch. Like I said, we already have a trailer for this one. Let's roll a clip from it that features a few familiar faces from Thanksgiving.
It's okay, honey, it's safe.
Don't go in that house, bitch.
Roth has also told Variety that Snoop Dogg will star in the flick, and he plans to make it the craziest haunted house flick that's ever been made. It sounds like it's going to be a dark horror comedy, nothing new for Mr. Eli Roth, and will likely feature a haunted house that is inexplicably haunted with a lot of horrible things as featured in that trailer. You really should not go in that house, bitch. Shooting begins for this one in June, so don't expect Thanksgiving 2 to go into production anytime soon, sadly. My guess is that once they wrap on Don't Go in That House at the end of summer in LA, I think they're gonna go over like sometime in Q3 or Q4 of this year and shoot Thanksgiving 2. We'll likely then get it in turn in November of 2027. So I know we're gonna have to wait another year for this one. That sucks, but we are getting it sometime soon, as well as a ton of other Eli Roth projects. I'm not even done talking about all of them, in fact. Fans of his catalog will also be excited to hear that he's still developing the Hostel TV series for Peacock, and this also stars none other than Paul Giamatti. Paul is apparently a huge fan of the Hostel franchise and apparently wanted to be in the original flick but couldn't due to a scheduling conflict. Honestly, this is one of the projects that intrigues me the most. I'm really excited to see how Eli adapts this to television. The two Hostel movies that Roth directed are probably some of my favorites from his entire catalog. Speaking of franchises this guy has created, Roth has also teased doing more with Cabin Fever, his first feature film. I hope that we hear more about this project sometime soon as well. My god, Eli Roth is busier than Mike Flanagan right now, and that is saying something. Bring on the horror, Eli. I can't wait for all of these projects. Before we get into today's Scream 7 update, did you know that we have a brand new Scream-inspired t-shirt at our merch store? This one is particularly for our Stu fans out there that says Stu is dead daddy. Get the shirt while supplies lasts because once it's gone forever. This one leaves the shop on January 31st, and you should definitely pick it up if you not only believe that Stu is alive, but also a father figure, if you know what I mean. The link for the merch store will be in the description below. Now let's get into the update. Wow, it was a huge weekend for Scream 7. Updates, rumors, interviews, new poster. Let's break it all down. First off, Scott Foley, or Roman Bridger, was talking about a few of his upcoming projects with comicbookmovie.com. Regarding Scream 7, Foley doubled down on a previous statement saying, "People love it everywhere I go. It was a movie that I was sort of reprimanded to a certain degree for doing at the time. I was on Felicity, and during one of our hiatuses, a real actor would have gone and done a play, but I went and did Scream. I'm so grateful now looking back just to be a part of a franchise like that, a beloved franchise with so many fans still. To come back in 7, I haven't read a script, I haven't seen the movie, but I was so happy to be a part of it." So just to clarify, Foley is doubling down on a previous statement that he made where he said he's never read a script for Scream 7. This tells me that his character Roman Bridger, who died in Scream 3, is likely not appearing in the film itself. Some other dead characters are also returning for Scream 7, like David Arquette as Dewey Riley and Matthew Lillard as Stu Macher, but I genuinely think that these three characters, the only role they're going to be playing in Scream 7 is like fake AI pretend voices of these dead killers. I think whoever our new ghost faces are just using the tech, vilifying it, and also mimicking the voices of previous killers to kind of haunt Sydney in the present. This is likely going to upset some fans who believe that Stu Macher is alive and going to be the killer again in this upcoming entry. I really hope people don't just judge the movie solely off of the expectation that Stu is coming back and then that doesn't happen. These movies have been making jokes regarding the theory, especially in the last movie, for a long time now. I just don't think it's happening, and I hope that people judge this just based on what's happening in the film itself. If it sucks for other reasons, then it sucks. But what if it's really good? Like, what if it's a really good murder mystery and people just hate on it because Stu didn't come back? I feel like that would be a tragedy. I'm sure that Matthew will be a part of this franchise in some other capacity opposed to being behind the mask in future installments as well. On top of all of that, we also have a new creepy duck art poster for Scream 7. It's a parody of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre poster, with Ghostface leaving blood all over the carpet after seemingly emerging from the burning down Macher house. This Leatherface inspiration likely comes from the theater marquee seen in the trailer that shows the 1974 film is being played there. While it might just be a reference to one of the all-time great horror flicks, it also might be a clue as to who our killers are this time around and what their motive is. The Sawyer family in Texas Chainsaw Massacre is motivated by getting a bite to eat in their struggling economy, devolving into cannibalism. Could our new killer also be motivated by family ties? Or are they just really hungry to bite into Sydney and her daughter? Oh my god, the killer is Zombie Stu! We're also hearing some pretty interesting rumors about the flick, that the runtime is 1 hour and 54 minutes, which is about the same length as most of the other movies in this series. That Ice Nine Kills song made for the film apparently slaps, and it will have a feature just like the Terrifier 3 song, A Work of Art. I wonder if a certain System of a Down member will be that feature, just like A Work of Art. Hopefully he made it to the studio that day and didn't just leave his keys upon the table. Mad shout out to Critical Overlord for a lot of this interesting info. One other random little nugget of information I want to throw out there in today's Scream 7 update is that Patrick Lussier, the apprentice of Wes Craven, is actually directing a new franchise continuation in the 47 Meters Down series. I really love these weird little shark movies, and I can't wait to see what comes next, especially from this director in the film subtitled The Wreck. Patrick has also directed flicks like Dracula 2000 and My Bloody Valentine 2009, as well as editing the first 3 Scream movies. Whew. That is probably the most movies I've ever talked about all in one update video. From the plethora of terror I just presented, which movie are you anticipating the most? Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.